Hey guys, Kronos here, and welcome back to another new player's guide to PSO2. Today we're going to talk about mags. So this is Kronos, my alt, actually my ranged attack alt. He's changed quite a bit since we last did a video. I actually think he was like level 1 the last time we did a video, maybe level 2. But as far as what we're looking at here right now, I've kind of pushed this character forward, done some unlocks, got his mag. As you can see, he does not look like your standard mag. He's actually leveled up quite a bit, just so I could get a little bit more of an understanding of how mags level up and the best ways to kind of approach leveling up your mag. As stated in some earlier videos, one of the biggest things that players tend to screw up very early on in the game is their mag. First off, what is a mag? Mags, if you've ever played any of the other past Phantasy Star games, for example, if you're coming from Phantasy Star Universe, they're essentially your support. They're like a pet almost, if you don't count summoner pets. They basically support you. They help you out in the game. They increase your stats, and they help you fight things. Pretty cool guys. They also are pivotal in your use of one of your ultimate abilities, what they call the Photon Blast. So making sure your mag works properly, making sure you have your mag set up properly for your character is actually pretty big, like huge. Like it's a big chunk of overall damage for you, and it's free damage if done right. So this is my R attack mag that I have here. As you can see, he's level 122 right now, which he is much higher level than you normally would have him at this stage of the game. My character is only level 21. You guys can probably see it's 21 gunner, 20 hunter. That is because of a specific item that I use, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But first off, what do we want in a mag? How do mags work? Like, what do they do for us, and more or less, how are they going to help you progress in the game? Well, mags essentially helps, like mentioned beforehand, help support you as you're fighting through missions, things of that sort. And they also help increase your stats as well. For example, my mag is level 122 overall, and every single one of those levels is in a ranged attack. So ranged attack is what gets increased when I have my mag equipped. And that's kind of how you want to go for the most part when it comes to mags. Striking defense, ranged defense, tech defense. In all my time playing, I haven't seen anyone who actually purposely runs these specs specifically. Like, I guess striking defense, if you really want to have a meme, what's the word I'm looking for here? A meme tanking build, which isn't really a thing in Phantasy Star. There are arguments for dexterity mags under certain circumstances. I would stay away from it personally, but it's up to you. I would probably look into that a little bit further if you're looking into your class, which class is something we're going to look at a little bit later, but it kind of dabbles into this situation here too. So when it comes to mags, what's the first thing to figure out? Well, what you're going to play, what your class is going to be, what your class does, and kind of what benefits them the most. So I'm playing Gunner. Gunners benefit from ranged attack, so I want to have the most ranged attack I possibly can get. So my mag is going to be leveled up in all ranged. Ideally, he's going to be fully capped out in range when we're finished, and have no other stats leveled. Your mags can go to a maximum of level 200, and for every level you have in a different one of these support levels, that's a less level that you can have in what you really want. Mostly the common mags you're going to get are either level 200 striking, level 200 range, level 200 technique, and on occasion, like I mentioned, level 200 dexterity. I literally have never seen anyone go with these on purpose. So how do you feed your mag? How does your mag level up? What do you do? So mags have an energy level. Start at 0%. What you essentially want to do with your mags is you want to give them items. Giving a mag items, or giving a mag an item, will increase its energy level by 33%. What it also does is it gives it experience based on the item you give it to, or you give to it. For example, if you give it a sword, which is a striking attack weapon, it's going to increase a large amount in striking and some in dexterity. If you give it, let's see, actually we jumped ahead there really quick. Have a unit, I believe, yeah, so say I give it a unit. This run-of-the-mill midway unit, it's a sub, it goes for any slot. See how it gives experience for striking defense, range defense, and tech defense. It takes a little bit from dexterity, and that's it. Don't really want to do that specifically, but you kind of get my point. You depending upon what you feed your mag is what levels it up and what experience it gets. For us here, since we're going with a ranged attack character, we're going to want to go with a ranged attack mag. So we're going to want to have items that increase ranged attack. Now, I'm sure you noticed by now what happens when I feed it a weapon. It does get quite a bit of ranged bonus, ranged attack experience. However, it does also get dexterity. And that's going to be your other big notion, is how do you get rid of that dexterity and not level it up? Because you really don't want to get the dexterity to level 1, because that's one less level you have in your main support levels, which in this case would be ranged. So let's go ahead and feed it a weapon real quick. We're going to feed it one of these 9-star weapons, which in most situations when you're feeding your mag, you want to feed it 9-star weaponry. I don't believe you can feed it 10-star weaponry, so this is going to be the most experience you can get for a weapon. So we'll feed it in these 9-star TMGs that I just went out and grabbed really quick for the purpose of this video, honestly. It gives you a little notice that 7-star or higher, which is normal. And as you see, it went to 33%. So now it has 30% energy level. We go in and say we feed it another one. It's now at 66% energy level. But if we were to feed it, say we had another one of these guns, it would have leveled up in ranged, but it also would level up in dexterity, and that dexterity is getting dangerously close to getting to level 1. So what do we do about that? Well, for me personally, I've always gone with made items. Made items are something you can get from the shop, relatively cheap, pretty easy to get a hold of, and you can get a hold of them even right before a mission. So in case you don't have, things prepped, set aside, you can get a made item pretty fast. The different mates going from monomate, dimate to trimate, it's pretty convenient because they actually increase the support level of attack of one of the three. In this case, monomate for striking, dimate for ranged, and trimate for technique. But it also increases the striking defense for monomate, the range defense for dimate, and the technique defense for trimate. But what it actually does, and what's most important, is that it decreases the dexterity and barely increases those items, or those levels. So what we want to do ideally is, we're going to have to feed it an item anyway, and it's going to go up by 33%, and we can't overcap this. When this gets too close, if 33% is going to overcap it, it won't let us feed it. It's basically more or less full. So what we're going to do is we're going to feed it a dimate. And now this only inched up a little bit. It's going to go up more for you guys at lower levels, but since my ranged mag is 123, it barely goes up. But what is most important is it goes down on dexterity by quite a bit. So you kind of see the idea here. You feed it weapons to get its main level up, and then you feed it mate items to get its its dexterity back down again. And that can kind of go for any sort of setup you're going for here. There are other items that you can use. Yeah, the room items tend to decrease dexterity and range defense. I'm sorry, dexterity and the defenses, and increase the offenses. So if you find an item that works for you, then just, grab a hold of them. Some people use like lamps or things like that. Just experiment, see what works best, see what's available. I always use made items because they're just easy. Now, one thing you guys are going to notice is this character is only level 21. How does he have a mag that's already level 123? Well, that's because this is an alt character. I have access to things that, as a new player, you're not always going to have access to. So I did want to go ahead and touch on this really quick. As an option for not only vet players but new players if you ever get access to this sort of thing here. Because when you're doing your dailies, you have a chance of getting an item. Let's see here really quick. So let's go over to give item and go to use device. You have a chance of getting an item called a food device. Food devices allow you to feed your mag and increase their stats based on the food device that you give it, even though its energy is capped. So its energy right now is 91%. You notice it kind of goes down slowly. I think it's over 10 minutes it will deplete completely, and then you can feed your mag again, so it's not too bad. But the food device that we're going to be using is R attack, and it allows me to continuously feed these to my mag to get his R attack up. So feed it one, bam, R attack continues to go up. Feed another. Notice how the energy doesn't continue to go up at all. These just kind of keep letting you feed them over and over again. So it let me get my my mags leveled up very, very fast. You can get these from completing your daily quests, the featured quests from the box. There's a chance to get them from there. Where people get them primarily is, and I apologize so hard for this, if you go into the shop area with the wonderful lobby music we have right now, as soon as it loads, let's bound up here really quick. So if you head over to the shop area, we come over here and talk to the photon drop attendant, and however photon drops for, I believe it's, yeah, for two photon crystals, or photon spheres, I'm sorry. So yes, the gold are photon spheres. So for two photon spheres themselves, you can get 3 of these items, which getting these late in the game, really easy to do. So a lot of people will just get a ton of stacks of this food and then just level up their mag super fast. Now, why is it so important to level up your mag super fast? Well, for one, at level 100 it gains the photon blast ability. Depending upon your mag, there are different photon blasts, they do different things. Some of them group enemies for you, pull them together. Others have form like a unicorn that kind of runs around and hits stuff and does damage. There's another one that has, I'm trying to think of the exact wording for it. It restores PP, kind of like swims around. It looks like a giant fish. It's pretty cool. And then there's some other ones that are available. You'd have to kind of experiment with them, see which one works best for you. Let's get out of here because this music is just killing my head. I was hoping with the most recent patch they would have patched that music out, but it'll be around for all of the Easter, for the entire Easter lobby, so we turn that right back off after this video is done. We're also going to try to keep this video a little bit shorter. They've been kind of long, and got some feedback that you guys want kind of shorter videos, so we're going to try that here. But so yeah, we have the item, feed it to our mag, increases in levels, and lets us kind of push past it really quickly. So it's a way that people who already have a character leveled up can come back to like a new character or another character they want to make and level up mag super quick. Now, why do you want to level up mag super quick other than just the photon blast ability? Well, like I mentioned beforehand, it affects your stats. So let's take a look at Virtual Weapon. This is a red machine gun. It's one of the red weapons, one of the better weapons to get when you're leveling early on. Now what this shows here is my current of this stat, and this shows what's required. As you see, it's right now 497. So now we're not going to level up, but we are going to level our mag up. So it's 497, right? Let's go ahead and level our mag to 126. Now let's take a look at what it is at. 498. So as you see, leveling up your mag, each level actually increases your base attack level, which is super useful. Imagine just starting out the game or just having a level 1 character but having tons of these from one of your other characters and leveling up your mag to 200. It's an extra base 200 of this stat on top of your character, which makes it really easy to use better weapons very early on in the game. Now granted, that doesn't exactly apply to new character or new players specifically. It kind of applies to everyone, but it's something you find that a lot of people don't really know about, so I figured I'd go ahead and include it here when we're talking about mags. I'm trying to think, I forget anything else when it comes to mags? No, that's going to cover everything when we're looking at just the perspective of leveling up mags. There are things to look into when it comes to trigger actions, auto actions, and even the photon blast that you use. But those all depend on the class that you're playing, so I highly suggest doing a bit of research on your class. Even just check out the PSO2 Reddit. I've had really great success just asking questions, seeing what other people are doing, and they give you a kind of a perspective of what they do versus what other people do, and you kind of can see it from both sides. It's pretty cool. So I would highly recommend checking that out. It's been super useful. But guys, yeah, that's pretty much all there is when it comes down to mags. Oh, last thing is when you get a mag, it's 1. You get 1 free mag per character. You can purchase a mag ticket from the AC shop. Let's see, where is the mag ticket? I believe it's 300. Here we go. Yep, so you can purchase a mag ticket, which allows you to claim an extra mag. It's like the equivalent of $3, essentially, 3 USD. In case your mag gets messed up, people usually tell you that's the way you get another mag if you screw up your own mag. That's kind of how you would do this process itself. Oh, we forgot one thing. So let's give a perspective here really quick, or a scenario. Imagine you're leveling up your mag, and you accidentally put, you're not paying attention, because I've done this before, not paying attention, and you accidentally level up 1 point of dexterity. Well, now your mag's not perfect 200. Thinking, man, I really don't want to go through leveling up my entire mag all over again. What can I do to fix that? So, let's see, X cube. With X cubes, which you'll learn more about X cubes later, grab 50 of them. Okay, so with X cubes, heading over to the X shop, or the X cube shop. Again, I'm so sorry for you guys having to listen to this music, it's so terrible. Shop area. You can actually go through and purchase an item for X cubes that will allow you to fix that mistake. Now, it only works for one level. It's essentially what they call a level down for your mag. And we're going to go ahead and buy one just so you guys have kind of a point of reference. So we'll head over to the X cube shop. X cube shop. Scroll down to the very bottom, I believe. It's 50. Look for 50. Here we go. What's this? These are... I'm not sure what these are specifically. Okay, mag level down device. So yeah, 50 X cubes. We'll buy one. So you guys can see how it works here. So you open up your little mag menu here. Use device. Mag level down device. You can click it, and then you can pick exactly what to level down. So say, we're going to use range just as an example here. Say this is dexterity and choose dexterity. You just select it and levels your mag down to 125. Now, if your mag is really messed up, like you have points all over the place, like I've seen some mags that are pretty awful. In that situation, you're mostly better off just going through and using the AC and buying a new mag. Or if your character's early on enough, maybe making a new character and deleting the old one after you've learned from those mistakes. Let's get out of this lobby. I don't even know why I'm running around. Here we go. And kind of just learning from those mistakes might be super helpful in that situation. So that's kind of more or less the ins and outs of leveling your mag. Like I mentioned, there are other nuances, choosing what abilities your mags have, choosing what photon blasts you'll use. Those are going to depend more on your character themselves. This is kind of just general tips overall when it comes to mags. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. If you guys have any other questions, again, toss them in the comments. I'd love to hear some feedback about the videos themselves. Hopefully this is a little bit better when it comes down to length. I'm going to be shooting for 15 to 20 minute marks on these videos from now on, and centralizing them more on one thing and one aspect of the game itself as we move forward. Alright guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.